Big 12 women's basketball right here on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bearcats welcoming the 15th overall ranked Baylor Bears to Fifth Third Arena. We welcome you into Bearcat Sports Radio. My name is Aidan Riggs, joined alongside by Fox Gansler. Fox, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. This is going to be a great matchup today. Baylor coming in this one, as you said, the number 15th ranked team in the country. They're also tied for the Big 12 lead right now. Cincinnati doing an okay job this season so far. They come into this one 8-14. They're 3-7 so far in Big 12 play. But here in this one at Fifth Third Arena, we'll see what they have against one of the best teams in the country and a team vying for that Big 12 title.
Let's talk a little bit about this Cincinnati team. They come in off a 72-70 loss on the road at Houston on Saturday. They battled their way back late, just couldn't come away with it.
That's right. They lost that one 72-70. Again, a very tough loss against Houston this past Sunday. Bearcats erased a 6-point deficit late in that fourth quarter, as you said, and even took the lead under 4 seconds remaining. But unfortunately, the Houston basketball team was able to run down the court, answer with a game-winning shot. It was a three-pointer that sealed that game at the buzzer.
This Baylor team, we mentioned they're coming in 15th overall in the nation. Historically strong program. They've had some great players come through. Brittany Griner's one that comes to mind. But they're on this kind of East Coast road trip that they have in the Big 12. Played at West Virginia, things didn't go their way.
That's right, yep. Here in Nikki Collins' fourth season, trying to make a national run. The last time out against West Virginia, it just wasn't their night. The Mountaineers forced 30 Baylor turnovers. That was tied for the season high and the most for that program since 1999. A crazy game, but it just wasn't the day for Baylor, unfortunately.
We got some star players that are going to be on the floor tonight. Starting off with Cincinnati, Maya Perry, the transfer from FAU, has been hitting everything on the floor.
That's right. She played her freshman year at Ohio State, then transferred over to Florida Atlantic. She played there up until this past season. She transferred to Cincinnati and currently leads this team in points and minutes. Truly a huge game changer for this team.
When you look at this Baylor team, Talia Scott just really stands out.
That's right, the 5'9" redshirt sophomore out of Orange Park, Florida. Originally played at Arkansas, then Auburn. She redshirted there for a season, and now in her third year playing college basketball, she's doing a great job. She leads the Big 12 in free throw percentage. It's currently sitting at 89.8%. She's also second in the conference in points per game.
Now, when you look at college basketball specifically nowadays, transfer is probably the most common word you're going to see on a roster. These two teams have it a lot. Cincinnati, also freshman heavy.
That's right, yeah. The Baylor Bears come into this one. Only one true freshman on that entire roster, and that roster also includes 4 transfers. But for the Bearcats, 6 out of the 13 players on this roster are all true freshmen, nearly half the squad. So for sure, a very young team out of Cincinnati, a team that shows a lot of potential, but maybe that veteran-style team that you have out of Baylor might really make the difference tonight.
Big opportunity on hand for the Bearcats tonight. We'll take a quick break and return with starting lineups here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back inside Fifth Third Arena here on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. The Bearcat women's basketball team with a big matchup today against the 15th overall Baylor Bears. They come into town 19-4 on the season, 8-2 in Big 12 play. The Bearcats at 8-14 overall, 3-7 in conference play. Starting lineups have been announced for both teams. Starting off first for the Baylor Bears. At guard, number 0, Talia Scott. At guard, number 4, Jana Van Geitenbeek. At forward, number 2, Kirsten Johnson. At forward, number 5, Dariana Little Page Bugs, that is, rather. And at forward, number 22, Bella Fauntleroy. Fox, give me a player to watch out for.
I would really look out for Dariana Little Page Bugs. She can play both guard and forward. She's 6'1", the senior out of Oklahoma City. She currently leads this team in field goal percentage at 54.8%. She also leads the Big 12 in rebounds, and the second place there is not even close.
And now the starting five for the Cincinnati Bearcats. First at guard, the transfer from FAU, Maya Perry. Also at guard, returning starter Reagan Jackson. So at guard, number 4, Kalia DeVillisi. At forward, number 10, Kylie Torrance. And at center, number 32, Destiny Thomas. Give me a Bearcat to watch out for.
I would really look out for Kalia DeVillisi here. True freshman out of Owings Mills, Maryland. She was ranked the #1 recruit overall out of the state of Maryland. She's shown great numbers all year, great physicality. She's for sure a player to watch out for tonight.
DeVillisi, one of those star freshmen on this team, was a top 50 overall prospect coming into this team, part of that top 5 overall recruiting class that head coach Katrina Merriweather had come in this season. She led the team with 21 points on Saturday at Houston. She's going to need something tonight to get this team going. This is a Baylor team that we talk about the historical success, one of the best teams in the Big 12, won a national title not that long ago as well. Bearcats are still trying to establish themselves. You're in year 3 of Katrina Merriweather. What do you want to see from the Bearcats tonight to try and take something out of this game?
Yeah, for sure. I think they really need to do a great job rebounding the ball, which they've been able to do all season. They currently lead the Big 12 in offensive rebounds with 14.3 per game. If they can do that tonight against the tough Baylor squad, I think they seriously stand a chance.
We will take one more quick break, and then it's time to tip things off here at Fifth Third Arena. We'll be back shortly here on Bearcat Sports Radio. It's tip-off time here at Clifton. Cincinnati ready to take on number 15 ranked Baylor. Cincinnati going to take the floor in their all-white uniforms, working from right to left on your radio dial. Baylor are going to take the floor in what they call their anthracite uniforms. Those are very dark gray. Word of note, they're 0-1 this year. Their only loss and only time wearing these uniforms was against Texas, who at the time was the number 9 team in the nation. So they're trying to break that curse. Cincinnati going to try and give them a run for their money, though.
This is going to be a good one.
Aidan Riggs and Fox Gansler here at Fifth Third Arena, ready to get this one underway. Cincinnati coming in 8-14 overall in the season, 3-7 in Big 12 play. Baylor 19-4, 8-2 in the Big 12. Cincinnati coming off a loss on the road at Houston. The road doesn't get that much easier for this Bearcats team either. On the road at Kansas, their next game. Back home against Arizona, a 2-game road stretch on the road out west. Utah and BYU, never an easy road trip, and they'll finish off this season. UCF, TCU, and at West Virginia. Bearcats need wins. They got to start here tonight.
That's right. And Baylor comes into this one tied for the Big 12 lead. They're in a shootout right now with the TCU Horned Frogs. This is going to be a good one. They could use a big win after their Sunday loss at WVU.
Destiny Thomas stands right inside that center circle. Kirsten Johnson on the opposite side for Baylor. It's basketball time in Cincinnati. We are underway. Cincinnati wins the opening tip. It's going to be Kalia DeVillasi to take it across the CPAW logo for the first time tonight. DeVillasi with it in her right hand, lets her offense develop. She's looking towards her right side, going to find Maya Perry. Perry, pass down low. Destiny Thomas, an easy and quick bucket for the Cats. Cincinnati leads 2-0. The opening 30 seconds of this one from Fifth Third Arena. The Bears look to answer. Jana Van Geitenbeck had it first for them. Push it around to Johnson. Down low in the hands of Little Paige Bugs. The three is up, and Van Geitenbeek knocks it down. Baylor leads 3-2.
Phenomenal ball movement there from the Baylor Bears to find the open shot. Phenomenal shot that ended that run.
Cincinnati needs an answer. Maya Perry has it poked away, and here come the Bears on the counter. Little Paige Bugs to the left. She's going to find Scott. Scott right back to her. Little Paige Bugs through the paint, threw it over everyone's head. Cincinnati basketball.
Yeah, just really got congested right there in the paint, and that pass, unfortunately, just was way off the mark.
So Bearcats will have another opportunity here, trailing 2-3. A minute into this game here at Fifth Third Arena. DeVillasi on the right side, right off that Fifth Third logo. Hands it off to Reagan Jackson. Jackson finds Torrance. She's going to go back to Perry. Right to DeVillasi, working from left to right, inside the paint. Right hand finger roll off the glass and good.
Phenomenal. DeVillasi has great ball control, able to just drive in there, straight into the paint, straight through everybody to make the open shot.
Cincinnati with a 4-3 lead over Baylor. Right to the hoop was Johnson. No good on that one. Cincinnati gathers the defensive board. Comes DeVillasi across that CPAW. 8:20 to go in the first quarter. Cats lead 4-3. Destiny Thomas with some space, dribbled it off her feet. Baylor basketball.
That's right. That pass, unfortunately, just came to her at the wrong time. She wasn't quite set. Unfortunately, couldn't take that pass away.
Jana Van Geitenbeek will take it across the floor for Baylor. Finds Little Paige Bugs, and then Fauntleroy gets her first touch of the night. Johnson to the right to Scott. Scott battled through some contact. Whistle will be blown against Kylie Torrance. First foul we've seen tonight. Something the Bearcats have struggled with at times this year has been the foul trouble. At one point this year, they were running with just 7 girls on the entire team with how many injuries they were battling. They've got some depth now. Still, you want to stay out of that book.
That's right. It got really aggressive in there. The Bearcats are playing zone, and unfortunately, just got a little too aggressive in there and drew the first foul of the night.
Referee having some discussion. Looks like the clock might be an issue here. They're trying to sort out. As mentioned earlier, head coach Katrina Merriweather in her 3rd season at the helm of these Bearcats. She graduated back in the early 2000s, taking this team to its last NCAA tournament appearance when she was in town. Baylor looks to get their way back in front. And Geitenbeck has it. She's going to find Talia Scott. Scott, one of your impact players you discussed pregame. And Geitenbeck with a good pass now to Johnson. Kicks it back outside. 3 is up, and she bangs it home. 2 for 2 on the night is Van Geitenbeck.
That's right. Once again, the ball movement was epic. Van Geitenbeck at that time found the ball and was able to find the basket.
6-4, Baylor leads, 7:30 to go in the first quarter. Destiny Thomas, right side for the Bearcats, looking for Torrance, gets knocked away from her, and the Bears come away with it. Another steal for this Baylor squad. So to move with pace. And Guyton Beek, and right towards the top of the key, whistle's gonna be blown against Baylor. An offensive foul to go in favor of the Bearcats.
That's right, it was off basket, and that's a great pickup here for the Bearcats. Down 2, and they'll get the ball.
3 turnovers already for Cincinnati, 2 for Baylor. So we got a couple subs. Thomas and Jackson come out of the game. See our first action from D. Alexander, a highly rated freshman for this Bearcat squad. You're also going to see Joya Crawford, another freshman, enter the game for the Cats. Alexander has it. One-hand pass to Perry, right on the CPAL logo. She's got 12 seconds on the shot clock. She dribbles down low towards the post. Threw one up, no good. Hit off of 3 Bearcats' hands. And here comes Baylor off the defensive board. Went up for the shot, was Little Paige Buggs, had it knocked away from her. They'll trigger it in down low.
That's right. I mean, the offender on that one had to slow up to try to make the basket. That's just a phenomenal defensive play right there.
So Baylor going to have another chance to inbound this one down low. 26 on the shot clock. They lead 6-4 over Cincinnati. And some troubles. It's knocked away by Maya Perry. They'll try it once again. A singular second comes off of both the game and shot clock on that one. In that far left corner, it's going to be Fauntleroy to throw this one in. Got it into Little Paige Buggs. The right hand's Van Guyton back. Another 3 is up from Scott. That one's no good. Battle for the board. Going to be won by the Bearcats, but it's knocked out of Alliance and Diva's hands. It's going to be Baylor basketball with 20 on the shot clock. Awkward spot to inbound this one. Kind of down low in that corner on the sideline. It's going to be Fauntleroy to throw this one in. Throws it high in the air to Delia Scott. Scott has it up towards midcourt. Little Paige Buggs works to her right. And Guyton Beck, a good pass back to Little Paige Buggs. She can't finish though.
That's right, just couldn't make the offensive rebound there. The ball ended up behind her.
DeVillisi in transition. Quick bucket, we're tied at 6.
That's right. So far,
down low, went too hard on that one. Johnson came with the offensive board. Scott for 3. No good, rebound goes to Alliance and Diva. Comes Cincinnati. It's Kalia DeVillisi, 6 to go in the first quarter. Knotted at 6 here between Cincinnati and Baylor. DeVillisi motions him around, dribbles with her right hand. Looking for a screen from Alexander. She's gonna work back towards her right though. She now will take the screen from Alexander. Shot clock down to single digits. Alexander with it in her hand, hard dribble, kicks it outside. Goes through the hands of Crawford and out of bounds for Baylor basketball. Baylor will inbound this one right in front of their own bench. Still tied at 6, 5:40 to go in the first quarter. And Guyton Beek takes it across. To the right side it goes to Scott. Baylor scoreless in their last 2 minutes of play. Fauntleroy right to the hoop, no good. Rebound goes to Alexander.
That's right. Every time this Baylor Bears team is inside, Cincinnati's doing a phenomenal job rebounding the ball.
Maya Perry, a chance for 3. Can't get it to go off the back iron. Rebound goes to the Bears. And Guyton Beck, the right side. The hands of Scott. Baylor just 1 for their last 7. Van Guyton Beck trying to end the drought. She can't. And off of Baylor, it goes out of bounds for Bearcat basketball. Nothing going in Baylor's favor right now. They can't get a ball to drop.
That's right.
Joya Crawford going to take it across the timeline for Cincinnati. 5 to go in the first quarter, tied at 6. Crawford looking to go one-on-one, takes it right inside, can't get it to drop. Rebound goes to Baylor. Both teams struggling to find offense right now. Pull up from the line with Scott. Couldn't get it to rattle home, and Ndiva gets the defensive rebound.
That's right. You know, this team, when you look at the sizes of players, Cincinnati has the advantage. And right there, when you put so many bodies inside, it's just so easy to find those rebounds.
DeVillisi to the right side. That's Maya Perry fading away and gives Cincinnati the lead. 8-6 your score. 4:20 to go in the first.
That's right, Maya Perry, 5'11", the senior out of Reynoldsburg, Ohio, to make the big play.
Left side, here's Scott working the baseline, back towards the right. And Guyton Beek outside. To the hands of Little Page Bugs. The right side, Scott. Down low to Johnson. Baylor still trying to break this drought. They can't do it on this possession. Cincinnati has it working down the left side of the court.
Yeah, Baylor's got to find some way to catch some of these rebounds. Every time it seems like they just don't stand a chance.
Maya Perry pulls up from the free throw line, can't get it to drop. Here comes Baylor in transition. Down the right side, Scott across that 5th third logo. And back towards the left, Van Geitenbeek just needs one to drop. She can't get it to go. Baylor scoreless in their last 4:30 of this ball game. Crawford on the right side. Back towards the left. Into the hands of Jackson. To Perry Crawford. Perry cutting towards the hoop. Fouled on the way up. She'll head to the line for 2. It's going to take us to a timeout here as well from 5th Third Arena. Cincinnati, the early 8-6 lead over Baylor. 3:15 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back with more on Bearcat Sports Radio. Back inside 5th Third Arena, Cincinnati. An early 8-6 lead over the number 15 ranked Baylor Bears. Aidan Riggs, Fox, Gansler here, court side. Baylor right now can't get anything to drop. 0 for their last 9 from the field. They haven't scored anything in the last 4:30.
That's right. I mean, they've only scored once out of their last 11 shots. Only 6 points on the board so far with 3:15 left to go here in this quarter. They have to do a better job of moving the ball around, but most importantly, finding a way to rebound. Cincinnati's playing zone underneath. They're able to catch all these rebounds nice and easy. Baylor's got to do something offensively to put more bodies down there and give themselves more of a chance.
You mentioned Baylor 1 for their last 11. Look at total field goals, 2 for 12. This drought has lasted almost the entirety of the game. They cannot get anything to drop for them. But Maya Perry at the line for Cincinnati. What do you think of her?
Yeah, I mean, she's an FAU transfer. She transferred in this last cycle here. She played at Ohio State. So, I mean, truly a player with a lot of experience. She currently leads this team in points and minutes.
Maya Perry able to knock down the first one. She's been lethal from beyond the arc so far this year. Gets the second to drop as well. Something that the Cincinnati team in the past couple years has somewhat lacked has been a three-point presence. Perry knocking him down left and right throughout this entire season. Baylor needs to battle their way back into this one. They're only down by 4. As we said, this drought just continues to roll on, and it's not going to stop here. Through the hands of the Baylor player in Cincinnati basketball.
That's right. There seems to be like a very heavy sense of urgency out of this Baylor offense, and they have to do a better job of slowing down, getting set, and really making plays.
Third turnover of the night for this Baylor team. Cincinnati with 2 points off those turnovers. Different lineup for the Bearcats. Ramaya Bird into the game, along with Carter. Carter had it down low, got it outside to Jackson, and now in the hands of Crawford. Crawford working towards her left, with her left, through the lane it goes, into the hands of Carter off an awkward bounce, and Baylor comes away with it.
That's right, Talia Scott on the rebound, the star player.
Maya Perry gets a quick steal and a quick bucket. Finger roll with her left, and the Cats lead by 6. Looks like we're gonna get a timeout, or a pause of some kind for Baylor.
Yeah, looks like a sub here. We got Yuting Dunn coming in for Baylor.
Dunn enters the game. Baylor trying to really do anything they can to get a spark going offensively. 8-0 run for the Cats over the last 4 minutes, and Baylor's drought is up to 5:30. Dunn gonna get her first chance from the corner. No good, a chance down low on the offensive board. Little Paige Bugs breaks the drought, gets them within 4.
That's right, Ramaya Bird fell down on that play and just created an open shot there for the defender.
Cincinnati looking to answer. Maya Perry fades away, but Cardin gets the offensive board. Some contact going up. Perry, chance for 3. Can't get it to go. It's going to bounce its way out of bounds right in front of Baylor's bench for Baylor basketball.
Yeah, Mary Cardin had a chance on that one. She's 6'6", the tallest player on either roster. The sophomore out of Idabel, Oklahoma. She transferred from Oral Roberts this past offseason.
So Baylor going to take it up the right side of the floor. 1:40 to go in this first quarter. Bearcats lead 12-8. Baylor's going to be whistled for a travel on the outside. That was Little Paige Bugs. Right back to the Cats it goes.
That's right. Cats they currently lead this one 12-8 with 1:36 left to play here in the first quarter. Once again, Baylor 1 for their last 11.
Leah DeVillasi going to take this one up the floor for the Bearcats. Across that CPAW logo she goes. Destiny Thomas back into the game for the Cats. She gets it right here. On that elbow, looking down low towards D. Alexander. She drew some contact. Whistle blown. Bearcats will trigger this one in down low. Third foul of this quarter for this Baylor team. Baylor for the good 6 or so minutes there were not really touching their bench. They brought in 3 subs ever since. Cincinnati gets it in. Goes to Destiny Thomas, backs down Dunn, puts it up, can't get it to drop. Comes Baylor on the counter. Inside, Van Geitenbeck. So around Little Paige Bugs. Dunn has it on the outside, works back towards the right. Van Geitenbeck takes a screen. Abraham had that one for her. And Geitenbeck inside, good pass to Little Paige Bugs, and a smooth bucket for the Bears.
That's right, they have 4 turnovers in the last 7 or so minutes, so it's good to get a good board there and cut this Bearcat lead to 2.
Destiny Thomas on the inside for Cincinnati. As you said, 2-point lead for the Bearcats. They're 1 for their last 7 from the field. 3 is up from Reagan Jackson, can't rattle it home. The rebound goes to Baylor. 3-second differential, shot and game clock down low. Abraham puts one up, whistles blown, shot to the line.
That's right. Redshirt junior out of Carrollton, Virginia. She's the only Bear to have played all 23 games this season off the bench. She's currently averaging 15.7 per game. I guess kind of like a sixth man or sixth woman, if you will. Really putting in some valuable minutes, though she's not on the starting lineup.
Stands at the line. Ready for her first. A strong crowd here at Fifth Third Arena tonight. First one does not go off the back of the rim. Little home court bounce for the Bearcats on that one. On the season, shooting just under 50% from the line. Second one's up and good.
The Bearcats are 0 for 5 in their last attempts from the field, so this is obviously a big offensive opportunity here for them.
Alexander gets it into Kalia DeVillasi. Shot clock turned off. 23 seconds on the game clock here in the first quarter. 1-point ball game might be exactly where Cincinnati wants it against the 15th ranked team in the nation.
This Bearcats team taking their sweet old time trying to run this clock down.
DeVillasi towards the right side, under 10 to go. Works it to the left. Maya Perry, 3 from the wing. That's good. Perry knocks it home, and the Cats will head to the break with a 4-point lead.
Incredible. Maya Perry leads this team in points and minutes, made a huge play there. And as you said, the Bearcats take a big 4-point lead coming into this second quarter.
So we will take a quick break. Cincinnati leads 15-11 over Baylor. We'll be back with the second quarter starting shortly here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Second quarter about to get underway here at Fifth Third Arena. Cincinnati leads 15-11 over the Baylor Bears. Aidan Riggs, Fox Gansler here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Fox went about as well for Cincinnati as possibly could.
That's right. Yeah, I really do think that this game could use a little bit more offense. I think both teams are kind of struggling from the field so far. Cincinnati at 38% from the field. Baylor at 27% from the field. Both teams really just got to get something going here in the second half if they want to break out to a big lead.
5 turnovers for the Bears in that first quarter, 5 for Cincinnati. As you said, hasn't been the cleanest basketball necessarily, but Cincinnati keeping themselves in this with a 4-point lead. What do you want to see from them in the second quarter?
Yeah, I really think it would be helpful to slow down, really be able to pass the ball well. I think, you know, if you can find those players inside, I think it could really create some excellent offense here in the second quarter.
Baylor starts off with possession here. Still working down from left to right on your radio dial. Into the corner, Dunn's gonna have her first chance for 3 of this quarter. Misses everything for the air ball. Fans will let her know about it. Cincinnati in transition now. DeVillasi down the right side, took some contact. Whistle's blown, no shot. It'll be an inbound for the Bearcats down low.
That's right, DeVillasi's really been a huge part of this Bearcat offense. She was ranked the #1 overall recruit out of the state of Maryland, one of the top 50 in the country. Truly a big asset to this Bearcat squad here this year as a true freshman.
Alexander throws it into Perry. All the way up top to DeVillasi it goes. Alexander in the paint. Where she lives, tried to go up with it. Good defense from Abraham. She tried to kick it outside. Rattled off a couple hands, but the Bearcats come away with it.
Yeah, she really had to gun that pass over the other side of the court.
Alexander in the paint, off the glass, no good. Offensive board, Thomas gets it to go.
That's right, shot clock was winded down. She knew she had to get that shot off, but a great offensive rebound and a great score there for the Bearcats.
comes Baylor looking for an answer. They trail by 6. That's not going to do it. They throw it out of bounds. For Cincinnati basketball, nothing's going Baylor's way in this game.
That's right. I believe that's their 6th turnover so far on this one. They just really have to slow down. Like I said, I mean, create better ball control, really move the ball around as much as they can to find open shots.
DeVillasi takes it across the C-paw. Left to Maya Perry it goes. Perry alone on an island out there, found Alexander. Found Destiny Thomas. Going to be a 3-second violation against Destiny Thomas. That's a whistle we've seen come more and more often this season for the Bearcats, especially with Destiny Thomas. It's kind of sitting in the paint.
That's right, and it's really hard when you're playing zone. You know, you gotta try to cover as much ground as you can. But in that situation, you know, just stayed in there a little bit too long, maybe weren't paying attention, and unfortunately draws the foul.
So here comes Baylor. And Guyton Beak had it. In the hands of Fauntleroy. 3 is up. That's no good off the back of the rim. Rebound goes to D. Alexander.
That's right. Van Guytenbeek nailed 2 3-pointers right in the beginning of this one, and offensively just hasn't been able to find any boards since.
DeVillasi outside to Perry. Perry backing down her defender. One-hand pass to the left to Jackson. Finds DeVillasi. DeVillasi pulls up from mid-range. Offensive foul whistled against her. A whistle against Destiny Thomas. Actually, her first of the night. So back-to-back turnovers for Cincinnati. Baylor has a chance to chip away at this lead.
That's right. I think this one's just really sloppy. I mean, we're in the double digits now in terms of turnovers for both squads. I mean, combined for both squads. It's just been a really sloppy one as we see yet another turnover on the floor.
Baylor just throws another away. Sloppy basketball from these two teams. You know, Baylor, they're on the back end of a road trip. When it comes to Cincinnati, though, you don't have that excuse. You played on the road in your last game. Now you return home. It's just not what you want to see right now. They're not stepping up to what they need to. But on the right side, here comes Cincinnati. DeVillasi on the right side, trying to break this short drought they have. Reagan Jackson on the left, takes a screen from Thomas. Right-hand dribble, she works it from left to right as she finds DeVillasi. Back to D. Alexander. Alexander in the mid-range, pulls up, swishes it home. Exactly what Cincinnati needed. They lead 19-11. And Guyton-Beek dribbles with her right. Screen from Abraham, working it towards this left side. Fauntleroy floats one up into the hands of Johnson. Whistle's blown for a travel. Another turnover for Baylor.
Yeah, once again, it's just really sloppy. And it's hard when the pace of play gets a little too fast, but both teams really got to do a better job of getting out of their heads and really trying to slow down the game.
Cincinnati takes it across the midcourt logo. That was Kalia DeVillasi. Quarterback in this offense with the ball in her right hand. Got it poked away by Johnson. Bearcats are going to inbound right in front of Baylor's bench.
The refs taking a moment to discuss this one.
A lot of discussion there in front of the Baylor bench. Maya Perry's going to inbound this one for the Bearcats. Looks like we're going to have a quick review as well. There was a lot of discussion between Baylor's bench and the referee.
That's right. Nikki Collin, the year 4 head coach here for the Baylor Bears, really vocal about something there. I'm really not entirely sure what. But Nikki Collin, obviously a big component of this Baylor Bears team, tying it all together. As you said earlier in our broadcast, taking this team to the tournament. This team won an NCAA title back in 2019, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do this year, as obviously tied for the conference lead. They're showing a lot of potential, but it's very interesting to see what they'll do going down the stretch.
We'll take a quick break here on Bearcats Sports Radio. Return with the decision. Back inside Fifth Third Arena, Baylor's coach's appeal is successful. It's going to be Baylor basketball. It was confusion really all over the place on what happened. They announced it while a video was played on the scoreboard. You couldn't even hear what they said. But Baylor's going to work it up. What do you want to see from the Bears in this possession?
I think they've just really got to slow it down, really got to find better ball control here, and hopefully can find the open shot, whether that's behind the arc, inside.
Comes Baylor. They're going to try a corner three from Scott. Too far on that one. Rebound going to go offensively to the Bears. And Geitenbeck working towards her left. She dribbles right towards the baseline, floated up off the glass. No good. Second chance from Abraham. No good as well. She's got fouled. She'll head to the line for two. Another chance coming from the line for this Baylor team. They got to get offense wherever they can get it.
That's right.
Kelly Torrance going to re-enter the game, replacing D. Alexander. Abraham stands at the line. Alexander limps her way down the tunnel there.
That's right. Kyla Abraham nailing her first one there. She's the only Bear to have played all 23 games, not to name a starter. So this is a good opportunity here. Drills the second one.
6-point ball game here at Fifth Third Arena. The Bearcats lead 19-13, 6:45 to go in the second quarter. Right side to Villasy, one hand pass to Maya Perry. Perry finds Kylie Torrance, back outside of Villasy it goes. Had it in her left hand, now dribbles back and forth towards her left. In the corner it goes, Reagan Jackson for three. Way too much on that one, and straight into the hands of a Bear it goes. Comes Baylor, across the C-paw, they take it. And Geitenbeek has some space at the line. She drains it, and it's a 4-point ball game.
That's right. This is Van Geitenbeek's 6th year playing college basketball. She transferred from Stanford a while back, so obviously a big component to this team with all that experience that she has.
Villasy towards the left, finds Reagan Jackson. Jackson one-hand dribble, finds Maya Perry. Perry takes a screen from Thomas. Send it right back to Thomas, and now Perry pulls up from the mid-range and drains it.
That's right. Destiny Thomas with great defense there on that one to set a huge pick and create some space for the open shot.
Geitenbeek trying to answer. Three's up from Fauntleroy. She drops it. Back to a 3-point ball game. DeVillasy down the right side. Cats lead 21-18 over the Bears. 5:18 to go in the second quarter. Down low, Torrance trying to look for Destiny Thomas. Can't find her. Baylor comes away with it.
Yeah, last time Baylor there nailed their third three-pointer after taking 11 attempts so far. Big foul there on the way up.
Fauntleroy was driving towards the hoop. In the paint, she got fouled. She's going to head to the line to shoot two. Bringing a bunch of subs for the Bearcats. Maya Bird's going to insert along with Crawford and Alliance and Diva. We saw D. Alexander go into the tunnel. She has not returned yet. Just something to keep an eye on. The freshman that's battled a couple injuries so far this season for the Bearcats.
That's right. This game seems to be a little fast, a little physical in that one. Unfortunately, we have a Bearcat that is dealing with an injury already here in this one. Bella Fauntleroy at the line here, leads this team in steals, a great defensive player here for the Bears squad.
Ready for her first shot is Fauntleroy, and she gets it to drop. Makes it a 2-point ball game, can get it down to 1.
That's right, Fauntleroy can play both guard and forward, the 6-foot senior out of Springfield, Missouri.
Hit the line already with 4 points on the night, make that 5. This is a 21-20 ball game. Cincinnati leads with 5:10 to go in the second quarter. Right side. Joya Crawford has it, works back towards her left, pulls up from the mid-range, and it sinks it.
That's right, that's Crawford's first board tonight. Big play for the Bearcats, puts them up by 3.
Baylor needs to find an answer. Geitenbeek going around into the hands of Little Page Bugs. Fauntleroy back to Van Geitenbeek. Takes off some contact from Crawford, bounces off of it, puts it up, no good. Here comes Cincinnati. Maya Perry down the right side. Reagan Jackson picks up her dribble on the baseline, finds Alliance and Diva inside the paint, and Diva right on that Big 12 logo, puts it up, can't get it to drop. Comes Baylor off the defensive rebound.
That's right, way too fast in terms of tempo on that last drive for the Bearcats. Unfortunately, leads to a missed shot.
And Guyton Beek tried to move quickly. Out of bounds, it goes off of Cincinnati. We're going to have an inbound down low on the baseline are the Bears. And Guyton Beek, the leading scorer for this Baylor team with 8 so far in this one. He's going to trigger this in. To the corner, Fauntleroy from range gets it to drop. Tie ball game at 23 here at Fifth Third Arena.
That's right, Baylor seems to just be the better team from beyond the arc. They are 4 for 12 tonight, making a third of their shots from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, the Bearcats 1 for 5.
And Guyton Beek floats one up to the right side after Cincinnati had another turnover. Three's up, and the lead goes to Baylor. Talia Scott, her first bucket of the ball game. Timeout, Cincinnati.
Yeah, huge run there, a 6-0 run in the last 25 seconds. The 2 threes was able to put Baylor up 26-23 here in this one.
Gonna be a quick 30-second timeout for Cincinnati. But talk about how the tides have turned all of a sudden. It was Baylor who couldn't hit anything at the end of that first quarter. Now Cincinnati turning the ball over left and right, and Baylor's got a 3-point lead.
That's right, this is a great time for a timeout here. Katrina Merriweather, the head coach here for the Cincinnati Bearcats, in her 3rd year. I think this is a great decision here to call the timeout. Just really not in your favor right now. Baylor on a huge run after Cincinnati had a very solid lead there within the last couple of minutes.
26-23 is your score, 3:48 to go in the second quarter. The Bearcats led the 15th ranked Baylor Bears at the end of the first quarter. Baylor outscoring them heavily in the second quarter.
That's right, Baylor 5 for 13 from 3. You also have Cincinnati. They're only have made 20% of their 3-point attempts here in this one. They're 1 for 5.
15 points for Baylor in the second quarter, only 8 for Cincinnati. Maya Perry at the top of the key, hands it off Reagan Jackson, working towards the right side, kicks it back outside to Maya Perry. Perry gonna look for the screen from Alliance and Diva. She takes it, she works towards her left. Back to the right she goes though, inside the paint. Finds Reagan Jackson outside. Kicks it, Crawford for 3. Bang! Joya Crawford, as the shot clock expires, sinks it to tie us at 26.
That's right, Baylor was playing man there underneath and really everywhere, and Cincinnati was trying to make something happen inside, and I think at the last second realized, oh, we don't have any more time left on the shot clock.
Scott immediately answers with a 3 herself to give Baylor their 3-point lead right back. What an answer for the Bears to take the energy that Joya Crawford gave Fifth Third Arena right out of the air.
Yeah, Baylor's made 3 out of their last 3 from just from the field. They've also made 5 of the last 7, so offensively, Baylor's doing a phenomenal job right here in the second quarter.
The jump ball was called inside the paint. Gonna be Cincinnati to inbound this one along the baseline. Perry throws this into Jackson in the corner. Jackson just loses it as she steps out of bounds. Lost her balance there. She was immediately calling for a foul. It's gonna be Baylor basketball.
Yeah, so little real estate right there at the edge of the court, and was trying everything she could to keep her footing, keep the ball in bounds, and unfortunately on that one loses the ball.
So Baylor inbounds this one right in front of their own bench. Hand dribble for Van Guyton Beek as she takes it across the timeline, goes inside the arc, looking to kick it back outside, finds a cutting little Paige Buggs. She can't get it to drop though on the lay. Rebound goes to Cincinnati.
Yeah, this is what wasn't working offensively for the Bears when they were struggling in the first quarter. They just couldn't rebound the basketball. Cincinnati has the size. Whenever they play zone and put a lot of bodies inside, they're able to catch the vast majority of those rebounds.
3 was no good for the Bearcats, and here comes Baylor in transition. Scott gonna slow down right on top of the arc. On the right side for Baylor, dribbles along the baseline, floated up high off the glass, couldn't get it to drop. Here comes Cincinnati in transition themselves.
That's right. I think the majority of Baylor's team right there thought the shot was going to go. They were already in transition, and they just couldn't rebound it at that point.
Bearcats kick it outside, now working inside towards the rim was Maya Perry. Got fouled, she'll head to the line for 2. Perry already in double figures for the Bearcats with 11 in this basketball.
Yeah, that's incredible. You also have Ndiba with 3 rebounds here in this one. A couple of Bearcats with big assists so far. But truly, I mean, this is a good foul here and a good opportunity here.
So Maya Perry, looks like she could have potentially some blood on her fingers. We're going to see. They decide here. They're going to let her shoot. Like she was motioned towards the bench in some way.
That's right.
In her hand.
Katrina Merriweather looks a little hot after that one.
First one's up and good for Perry. 2-point ball game.
Looked like Merriweather wanted to take her player out in that situation, but unfortunately didn't get the chance to.
Second one up and good for Perry as well. Knocks it both down. Up to 13 points in this one. 1-point ball game. Baylor leads 29-28 over Cincinnati. 1:40 to go in the first half. One hand pass Scott towards the right. It goes into the hands of Little Paige Buggs. Floats it up, and Johnson drops it home.
That's right.
3-point ball game. DeVillasi right back to make it 1 point again. The mid-range drops along the baseline. 31-30 is your score. Back and forth they go here in Clifton. Scott, step back 3, drains it. Talia Scott showing her range on that one. Back to a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, this game is so fun offensively right now. Both sides are nailing shots left and right, so it's phenomenal to watch.
Maya Perry from range. It's a long 2 to drop. Back to a 2-point ball game with 1 to go in the first half. 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. Baylor with possession. Down the left side of the court. Scott in her hands from way downtown. Can't get it to drop. She took that almost all the way from Waco.
That's right. Up by 2, and with that one, I mean, just figured, I guess, let's go for it. That one was probably, what would you say, 5 to 8 feet behind the arc there?
Beyond NBA range.
That's right, that's right.
That one as DeVillasi was driving towards the hoop. She got fouled before the shot. It's going to be an inbound down low for the Bearcats. 32.6 on the game clock, 22 on the shot clock. 2-point ball game with Baylor in the lead.
That's
Perry
right.
floats one into Delaney Snyder, seeing her first action in this one. One-hand pass for Perry, finds Ramaya Bird. Bird right on the free throw line, drives towards the hoop, fouled on the way up. The Baylor sideline wanted a travel call. They're not going to get it, and Bird's going to head to the line for 2.
Yeah, there was a very tight opening right there, and it looked like Maya Perry was just trying to, or not Maya Perry, excuse me, Ramaya Bird was trying to force her way in there. Her leg got taken out right there, and at the last second was able to just get a shot off and draw the foul.
Snyder's gonna exit, being replaced by Alliance Ndiba. 24.1 on the clock. Bird at the line, her first one's up and good.
Yeah, Maya Bird, she actually went to the Spire Institute over in Geneva, Ohio. She was coached by former WNBA star Candace Wiggins, originally from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Second was no good, gonna be an over-the-back call against Alliance Ndiba. Not the whistle you wanna see there on the missed free throw.
That's right.
It's gonna be the second against Ndiba. Something to keep an eye on as this game progresses on. So Baylor inbounds this one. Chance for the last shot in this first half. They lead 34-33. Scott takes up the floor for him on the right side. Guarded closely by DeVillasi. Scott, 10 seconds to go. Dribbles with her right towards the hoop. Uses her right and gets it to drop. Cincinnati, one last chance. 3, 2, 1. DeVillasi fires one up. Too much. And Baylor's going to head to the locker room with a 3-point lead over Cincinnati. A good way to end that half for both teams. We saw sloppiness in that first quarter. Second quarter, they were both dropping them.
That's right, yeah. Both teams really getting it together, really showing a lot of progress there. And in the second quarter, we saw just amazing offense. So far in this one, Baylor, 7 for 16 from 3-point range. That's 44%. The Bearcats, they're 2 for 8. they made a lot of good plays inside.
So we will take a quick break here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Baylor leads 36-33 over Cincinnati. We'll be back inside Fifth Third shortly.
We welcome you in. Fox Gansler alongside Aidan Riggs. You're listening to Cincinnati Bearcats women's basketball here on Bearcats Sports Radio. Coming back for our second half here. It's a good one. Baylor up 36-33. So far, the Cincinnati Bearcats, who are unranked and not doing great so far, 8-14, 3-7 in conference play, are keeping it pretty close. What do you think about this one, Aidan?
Yeah, this has turned into a really good game. That first quarter we were describing as sloppy. It was a lot of turnovers for each team. They were combined for about 13 or so, and in that second quarter, you only saw 3 combined by the two teams. So they really locked in. They were able to move the ball around. They were getting good shots up. They were starting to drain some. This Baylor team fought their way back in there. They went in the locker room with a 3-point lead. We'll see what Cincinnati can respond with at a half. They got to start this off on the right foot if they want a chance in this game.
That's right. There's really 2 players when you look at these stat lines here that have really defined this game so far. It's Maya Perry for Cincinnati, already put up 15. She's 5 for 12 from the field. And then on the other side, Talia Scott, who has 11 in this one, 4 for 10 from the field, 3 for 7 from the 3-point line. It's a great game, and we're about to get underway here in the third quarter, second half. Cincinnati down 3.
And this is a huge opportunity for Cincinnati. You mentioned it earlier. Hasn't been the season they've won it, but this is a top-ranked team coming into Cincinnati. You've got them on the ropes at halftime. You got an opportunity here to assert yourself towards the top of the Big 12. We'll see what they got.
That's right. Little Paige Buggs inbounding to Van Geitenbeek. He's going to dribble hard, and she'll pass over to Fauntleroy. Fauntleroy, loose ball. It's into the hands of Scott. Scott driving into the paint. Loose ball again. Johnson finds Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek defended hard right there. She'll drive into the paint. She'll fire across the court. Fauntleroy won't go. Get her own rebound, and she's fouled on the way up.
It's good ball movement there from the jump from that Baylor team. The ball was going all around. Cincinnati was kind of scrambling to get into place. It's exactly what Cincinnati didn't want to do. You wanted an easy way to start off this half. They get the foul, and Baylor has a chance to extend their lead very quickly in this half.
That's right. Bella Fauntleroy to the line here. She can play both guard and forward. 6-foot senior out of Springfield, Missouri. She actually leads this team in steals, one of the better defensive players and components for this team. The band behind this basket getting loud, getting rowdy. The first shot is up and in. And that'll extend this Baylor lead to 4.
It was a very strong crowd here, especially in both end zones in that first half when they had all of the players from all the different sports that made the Dean's List in attendance. We'll see how many of them stick around as the second one goes.
That's right. Well, she nails the second one. Baylor up by 5 here in this one. And it's DeVillasi who's going to take it out from the middle of the court. She'll fire. It's Perry with it now. Perry with the ball in her hands, fires into the corner. Jackson with it, fires back to Perry. Perry passes inside this time. Torrance throws one up, and it's no good. And rebounded by Little Paige Buggs. On the other side, it's Scott. Scott with it, finds Buggs. Buggs over to Fauntleroy. Fauntleroy looking to dish it inside, but she'll fire to Scott. Big 3 on the way, it's no good. And loose ball, very aggressive play there inside the paint. And it'll be the Bearcats' ball. This is great.
A turnover that goes in the Bearcats' favor. They're just able to have that rebound come down right in her hands. Won't even really qualify that one as a turnover now that I think about it with it being a jump ball, but Cincinnati comes away with the possession. They got to make something of it here to get going in this half.
That's right. DeVillasi with it. Bearcats down 5. She'll take it from the arena logo. Dishes inside. Dishes back now. Torrance, loose ball. It's into the hands of DeVillasi. DeVillasi rolls inside. She'll take a jumper. Foul on the way up and banks it in. That'll cut the Baylor lead to just 3, and DeVillasi's going to the line here for 1.
It's exactly what you needed from Kalia DeVillasi. She's one of your star players. She only had 6 points in that first half, which sounds decent, but for her, that's definitely a lower number than she wanted. She's got to get going in the second half if the Cats want to have a chance in this one.
That's right, chance for the 3-point play. This one's up and in, and the Bearcats only trail by 2 now. Little Paige Buggs with it, inbounds to Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek rolls into the other side of the court. She'll stand in the middle of the court. Looking to drive, looking to pass. She'll move now into the left side of the court. Trying to look inside, trying to set up a play. She'll look inside at Little Paige Buggs. Buggs to Scott. Scott, big three on the way, it's no good. Rebounded that time by Torrance. Torrance will find DeVillisi. DeVillisi into the other side of the court to Perry, back to DeVillisi now. DeVillisi inside to Perry. Perry step back, long jumper, no good, air ball, and it's rebounded by Little Paige Buggs. Scott on the other side of the floor, rolling inside, takes a jumper, this one's no good, and it's rebounded this time by DeVillisi. DeVillisi dishes inside, Torrance with it, steps back, jumper, no good, and it's rebounded this time by Little Paige Buggs. Buggs out to Van Geitenbeek. This game, very fast tempo as we speak. Van Geitenbeek inside. She'll pass back. It's Fauntleroy with it. She'll find on the other side of the court, it's Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek from the free throw line, over to Scott. Scott inside. On the other side of the court, it's Little Paige Buggs who's fouled on the way up.
No, this shooting night for Baylor, I think, is the most shocking thing to me. They're shooting just under 33% on the night, and on the season, they're shooting 43%. That's better than what Cincinnati's doing, and they're right on target. They're shooting 41% in the season, shooting 41% tonight. Just hasn't been there from the field for Baylor tonight, and that's really what's holding them back from extending this lead. A chance at the line, though, to add on to this 2-point lead.
That's right, 38-36, Baylor on top. Free throw on the way from Little Paige Buggs, and she drills the first one. Extends this Baylor lead to 3.
Breaks that 2-minute scoring drought for Baylor as well. Similar to what we saw in that first quarter. We're having a lot of resemblance there where Baylor just couldn't get anything going after their opening possession.
That's right, Little Paige Buggs drills the second one. She goes 2 for 2 that time. Ball inbounded this time by Torrance. Torrance into DeVillisi. DeVillisi finds Perry. Perry back to DeVillisi now. DeVillisi defended hard by Van Geitenbeek. From the free throw line, will dish this one out. Torrance with the big layup. And that'll cut this Baylor lead in half.
Smooth finish there from Kylie Torrance. Found the space, cut right to the hoop, laid it in.
That's right. Van Geitenbeek now driving hard, throws one up, but it's no good. Loose ball, and it's rebounded by the Bearcats. DeVillisi this time from the middle of the court. She's going to motion across and find Jackson, who's fouled on the way up. And we'll go to the line for 2. 6:36 here to go here in the third quarter. And it's a big foul here for the Bearcats. They find themselves down 2.
This will be a chance to keep this possession going. You're going to see Joya Crawford enter. She had that big 3 to end that second half that had us put a little bit of a spark for Cincinnati. Can she give her something here?
It'll be side out of bounds for Cincinnati in the front court.
It'll be Maya Perry in to inbound this basketball. She'll find Crawford. Crawford, who just got subbed in from the arena logo. And loose ball inside. And it's taken over by the Bears. Little Paige Buggs with it. She'll find Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek dishes inside. Big play. And Johnson, who got fouled on the way up, drilled the layup. And will go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play.
No, that was just another one of those turnovers down here for Cincinnati where it's just, you needed to be better with the ball. You were trying to force a pass there right to the free throw line. 2 girls on him, it's going to be the easiest steal they're going to get. Just couldn't quite find it, and then immediately Baylor's got this inbound.
That's right. It'll be Fauntleroy in to inbound the ball. Fauntleroy dishes, finds Little Paige Buggs. Buggs over to Van Geitenbeek, who nailed the 3. And now Baylor leads this one by 5. It's 43-38, Baylor on top. Just over 6 minutes to go. Big contact on the other side of the court, but here's Jackson with it. Jackson back to Crawford for 3, and she nailed it. That'll cut the Baylor lead to just 2 now, 43-41. The Bears on top. Less than 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Van Geitenbeek looking to drive from the arena logo. Has to dish this one inside, and Little Paige Buggs gets fouled.
You know, I mentioned earlier how Baylor is shooting below their percentage on the season. The thing that's really standing out for them, though, they're 8 for 19 from beyond the arc. That's 42%. They're only shooting 33% on the season from beyond the arc. That's what's really propelling them forward in this game over Cincinnati. If the Bearcats can lock them down from beyond the arc, they're going to have a chance here.
That's right. And over here, it's Johnson just coming into the game. She'll inbound it. Fauntleroy over to Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek from the middle of the court now. She's guarded by Crawford. Van Geitenbeek. Back to Johnson, back to Van Geitenbeek. Dishes this one inside. Johnson with the big deflection there. No points on that time for the Baylor Bears as we have a loose ball on the other side of the court. It'll go out of bounds on Baylor and be the Cincinnati Bearcats basketball. It's Perry in to inbound it. She'll pass this one in. Crawford with it now. Crawford's gonna motion Bird across. And it looks like we have an off-ball foul. Foul that time on Johnson. It's the third team foul here this quarter. 5:16 left to go. Baylor Bears up 43-41 here.
This is more of that just sloppy basketball. I keep referring to that first quarter. It's really resembling that. Both teams, a lot of whistles, a lot of balls changing hands very quickly. See if the Bearcats can make anything of this. Try and tie it up.
That's right, Crawford with it. Defended hard that time, it passed away, but she'll get it back. Crawford from the middle of the court for three, won't go. Loose ball inside the paint. Everybody's fighting for it. And at the last second comes Crawford in to pick up the basketball. And that will bring us to a timeout. 43-41, the Baylor Bears on top. Less than 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. You're listening to Bearcats Sports Radio. And we welcome you back into Fifth Third Arena. You're listening to Cincinnati Bearcats women's basketball live on Bearcast Sports Radio. Here in this one, Baylor up 43-41. We have a little less than 5 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. What do you think about this one, Aidan?
We're seeing resemblance of that first quarter. I mentioned it before we went to break. Sloppiness from both sides. Neither team really capitalizing off the other's mistakes. We saw that in the second quarter. They really locked down on the turnovers. They were able to make something out of it. So far in this one, you haven't seen it as much. The whistle has been a little bit more active, too, with 7 fouls.
That's right. Maya Perry throws up a three. It's way off the mark. And Ramaya Bird with the rebound finds the layup, and the Bearcats have tied the game at 43.
Perfect way for the Cincinnati to come out of that timeout. The missed shot with the offensive board, Bird's able to capitalize.
Fauntleroy that time for three won't go, and it's rebounded by Ramaya Bird. Here comes Crawford now. Crawford for three. Bang! And the Bearcats take the 46-43 lead here in this one. Less than 4:30 left to go here in the third quarter.
Quick 5-0 run in the first 30 seconds out of that timeout. Whatever Katrina Merriweather said, she's got to say it again.
That's right. Coming out of the timeout, huge offensive up-tempo offense here for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Here's Scott with it. She'll fire inside, find Fauntleroy. Fauntleroy, shot won't go, loose ball, and it's rebounded by the Bearcats. Here's Carden on the rebound, and she'll find Crawford, who takes it from the arena logo out to the middle of the court now. Defended hard, she'll find Jackson. Jackson for three, bang! And the Bearcats take a 6-point lead. 49-43, Cincinnati on top of this one.
11-0 run for the Bearcats. The court is tilted in the Cats' favor.
That's right, big three coming for Baylor. It's Van Geitenbeek who nails it, and that'll cut the Bearcat lead in half. It's 49-46.
The exact answer you needed there. She delivers from range, as she's done all night in double figures now with 14.
That's right, Crawford finds Jackson. Jackson looking to drive, fouled, and she'll throw up a layup that won't go.
The Baylor foul is called number 0, Talia Scott, second personal, 14 foul.
I mean, that was a good chance there for Cincinnati. They were driving towards the hoop and just drew the contact. But this run for the Bearcats they just went on, coming out of that timeout, whatever Trina Merriweather said, I hope she says it again in this timeout we're about to take, because the Bearcats came out 3 for 3 from the field. They've added on to what they were starting to build there going into that last timeout. We'll see what they can do after this one.
That's right, the Bearcats have nailed 3 out of their last 3 from the field, 5 of the last 7. And like you said, I was not expecting that coming out of the timeout, but all of a sudden we nailed it from beyond the arc, we nailed it from inside the arc. Just great offense, and here in this one, the Bearcats lead it 49-46, and we'll get the ball.
Yeah, Cincinnati, I think, is going to inbound this one on the baseline, I believe. And we'll see what they're going to draw up out of this timeout. You've seen some of your star players really be relied on here. You've seen Joya Crawford really step into the spotlight. Of course, you mentioned Maya Perry. She's got 15. And the interesting thing with Perry is that she's been doing a lot of it down low. She's drew some contact a couple times, going up to the hoop, sending her to the line twice already. She's only got 1 from beyond the arc. She usually is generating a lot of her offense from 3. She's 1 for 5 tonight. Joya Crawford's taking her spot, though. She's 3 for 4, had some big threes, especially on that run. And you mentioned Reagan Jackson. She had that last one for the Cats to put them up 3. She's been consistent over the past 2 years. One of the only players really to have from beyond the arc.
That's right. Joya Crawford, as you said, in 16 minutes, coming off the bench, has put up 11 points, 4 for 6 from the field, and is doing an incredible job here for the Cincinnati Bearcats. On the other side of the lineup here, you have Baylor. Talia Scott has been their big leader here in this one, and really all season. And in 23 minutes, has 11 points, 4 for 12 from the field, 3 from 8 from beyond the arc. Truly doing an amazing job. Another player to look out for here as we continue this game is Van Geitenbeek, who's 4 for 7 from three-point range, has 14 points here in this one. That leads this entire Baylor squad. 26 minutes played from Van Geitenbeek. Just an incredible game so far, but like you said here, coming out of that last time out, both teams really taking a lot of threes and finding success. So this will be really interesting to see what we see coming out of this timeout. As Cincinnati up 49-46 with 3:11 left to play here in the third quarter of action. Fox Gansler alongside Aidan Riggs. This is going to be a good one.
You know, the interesting thing that I have seen from Cincinnati has been that defense. You were mentioning a lot in that first half. They were relying on the zone. They got kind of caught looking a couple times. They've really been locked down on it the second half. They've been keeping them up top, not giving them a ton of room to work with from beyond the arc. Some of the shots that Baylor's hitting have been kind of just outrageous. We saw them take one all the way in Waco, as we described in that first half. But here in the second half, they've been able to limit them from beyond the arc just enough to keep them off the scoreboard. We'll see what they can do out of this timeout.
That's right, both sides breaking the huddle. The Bearcats, as we said, will inbound it on the other side from where we're at. 3:11 left to play with 20 on the play clock, on the shot clock, excuse me. It'll be Maya Perry to inbound this one. And immediately, that ball is swatted away. It didn't move like 6 inches out of her hand.
Abraham was giving Torrance absolutely no room, and it was just right over top of her, knocks it out of bounds.
That was incredible. Maya Perry with it. The two-point jumper will go and extend the Bearcat lead to 5. 51-46 with 3 to play here in quarter number 3. Van Geitenbeek looking to drive. She'll fire back. Scott with it. Scott will get the ball back here. She'll roll inside. Big contact inside the arc. And she'll draw the foul.
Truly was a lot of contact. I mean, that is a big body you're going up against when you're driving in on Carden. The size advantage that she had over Van Geitenbeek is night and day.
That's right. Yeah, Mary Carden, 6'6", the tallest player on either roster here, the big sophomore out of Oklahoma. But this time it'll be Talia Scott going to the line with 11 points already tonight. She'll make it 12 as they nail the first one. 51-47 Baylor, or excuse me, UC on top of this one.
See, and you could see Mary Carden laughing after that incident as well, knowing the size advantage she had. She didn't really have a choice there.
That's right. I really don't know what Van Geitenbeek was thinking there, but it was a big foul and a big pickup, and it cuts the Bearcat lead to just 3 now as the Bearcats with it. It's Joya Crawford. She's going to pass this time to DeVillisi. DeVillisi inside, draws the foul. The shot won't go, but she'll go to the line for 2 here.
And just a good move by Clea DeVillisi. She had a great pump fake there to draw him in. She tries to back him down as she's going down towards the hoop. Just draws that contact from behind. Great play from her.
That's right. The Bearcats will go to the free throw line. They are 5 for 13 tonight from the free throw line. DeVillisi nails the first one, and the Bearcats extend their lead 52-48. 2:38 to play here in the third quarter. DeVillisi's second won't go, and it's going to be rebounded by Baylor. Here's Scott with it. She'll find Fauntleroy on the other side of the court. To Johnson. Johnson to Abraham. Abraham to Van Geitenbeek, gonna drive inside, throw up a layup, and it goes. 52-50, the Bearcats on top here in this one, and they'll inbound it. It'll be DeVillisi with the basketball from the middle of the court. Now she'll drive to the left. Now she'll drive over to the other side. Still from the middle of the court. 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. DeVillisi on the other side finds Torrance. Torrance back to DeVillisi. DeVillisi inside, it's Mary Carden. Puts the big body in there and gets the layup to go. 54-50, the Bearcats on top.
Good luck stopping her when she's down low with the ball in her hands. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do when she has that big of a size advantage against you. She's so smooth with the ball.
That's right. And on the other side of the court, Talia Scott puts up a three-pointer and gets it to go. But like you said, Mary Carter reminds me a lot of Audie Crooks out of Iowa State. Another big body that can just get in there, get in the paint, and find the layups anytime that she finds herself down there inside.
You know, that was a fun matchup that we had not that long ago here in fifth third. And Mary Carden came out on top in that matchup.
That's right. Perry into the paint, layup won't go, loose ball, and it looks like it's gonna be out on Baylor. And Cincinnati will receive the basketball. And they will. Both sides into the bonus here in this half, or in this quarter, excuse me.
you can tell certain things are just out of place for this Baylor team. You can see some of the frustrations boiling over as well, as Fauntleroy was having a long discussion with the referee there. They got to keep their heads on.
That's right. This is a close game. It's a physical one, an aggressive one.
She was just whistled on that one as well.
That's right. An off-ball foul. The Bearcats will try to inbound it once again.
It's going to send him to the line.
Here's Torrance. Torrance will take the free throws. 2 points tonight. 2 rebounds as well. Bearcats so far 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Her first one is no good, off the back side of the iron. Torrance the second off the front side of the iron and no good. Torrance there at 0 for 2, and unfortunately the Bearcats only lead this one by 1. In the final minute here of action in the third quarter, it's Van Geitenbeek from the arena logo. Defended hard, will fire. Little Page bugs over to Talia Scott, who misses the three-pointer. And on the other side, it's DeVillisi on the fast break, can't get it to go. Wow, just huge, huge tempo there in the final bit of that play. You had DeVillisi coming in off the inbound, trying to catch everybody sleeping, and on that one, just had way too much on that shot.
Just moving way too quick, almost too quick for what her hands could do there. Just couldn't figure out how to get set there. You gotta get stopped.
That's right. 30 seconds left to go here in quarter number 3, as that shot won't go, and it's rebounded by Baylor with the play clock or shot clock back to 20. And Van Geitenbeek nails a 3. And now with 15 seconds left to go, the Bearcats, with no shot clock, are going to wind the clock all the way down most likely. It looks like they will. Clock at 5 now. 56-54 Baylor. It's going to be DeVillisi with it. Jump back. And the shot won't go. And so here at the end of the third, it's Baylor on top 56-54 as we will step aside here on Bearcat Sports Radio. You're listening to Cincinnati versus Baylor. We welcome you back to Bearcat Sports Radio. You're listening to Cincinnati Bearcats women's basketball. Currently, Baylor just went on a 6-0 run there in the last minute and 35 seconds of the third quarter. And they lead this one here as we enter the fourth.
You know, Baylor just hit that shot, that three with about 15 seconds to go. I don't want to call it a kill shot. It almost felt like that. It took a lot of the energy out of this arena and off of that Cincinnati bench. They got to get something here quickly. You got to get the stop on this first Baylor possession and put points on the board.
That's right. Talia Scott almost gets the ball swatted away. And it's Little Paige Bugs with it now. Over to Fauntleroy. Fauntleroy drives inside. She'll fire. It'll be Van Geitenbeek for three. It won't go. Rebounded. And off the rebound, Little Paige Bugs will score and extend this Baylor lead to 4. 58-54. Baylor on top of this one.
Just way too easy of an offensive board allowed for Baylor.
DeVillasi passes across the court. It's going to be Maya Perry with it. She'll pass this one inside. Loose ball. Torrance didn't even know where it was. And it'll be Van Geitenbeek with the basketball. She'll take it out from the arena logo. Look to drive inside now. Now she'll fire it inside. It gets tipped away by the Bearcats. Loose ball. And it'll be the Baylor Bears ball.
Just a mess down low. There's bodies flying all over the place. It's like Maya Perry really can't believe that it was called on her either.
That's right. Over to our near side, Katrina Merriweather. In her third year as the Bearcats head coach, is kind of livid about that one. You're really hoping that you can get the takeaway, but unfortunately that's just not the case. Ball will be inbounded by Van Geitenbeek here. She'll inbound that one inside. It'll be Little Paige Bugs for 2, and it won't go. Rebounded by the Bears. Abraham, that shot won't go either. And we have an off-ball foul before it has the chance to get rebounded. It's on Baylor, so Cincinnati will inbound. Torrance inbounds to DeVillasi. And DeVillasi enters into the other side of the court. She'll take it out from the arena logo side over to the middle of the court. Fire now to our side. It's not DeVillasi, Jackson. Jackson over to Crawford, now back to Jackson. Now it's Torrance with it. Torrance finds DeVillasi. DeVillasi inside the arc. The jumper will go and cut the Baylor lead in half. 58-56 now with 8.5 left to go here in this third quarter.
Badly needed a bucket there if you were Cincinnati, and Torrance delivered.
On the other side of the court, it's Scott. Scott drives inside. Fires inside to Little Paige Bugs, who finishes. And Baylor leads by 4 once again. Almost like a cat and mouse game right here, back and forth. This one for 3 won't go. The shot taken by Jackson, and it's rebounded by Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek will pass over to Scott. Scott inside now. Little Paige Bugs with it. Passes back. Fauntleroy's three-point attempt won't go. They get the rebound. Fauntleroy with it now. Fauntleroy over to Scott. Scott from the middle of the court. Loose ball. It's back into the hands of Little Paige Bugs, and this ball will go out of bounds. It'll be the Cincinnati Bearcat basketball with 7:37 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Bearcats down 4, 60-56 Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor is starting to heat up from the field. You can feel it coming. You kind of could feel it coming at the end of that third quarter. And this is a big test to see what the 15th ranked team in the nation really has. A top-ranked team is not going to let Cincinnati stay around with them. Can they pull away here? Can the Bearcats just hold on? We've seen them win some tight games down the stretch.
That's right. DeVillasi inbounded it. She found Bird. It's Bird with it, still has the basketball from about the free throw line. She'll fire back to DeVillasi. DeVillasi with a ton of bodies there in the paint, and unfortunately throws away the ball. Pass intended that time for Mary Carden, and unfortunately it was just right out of her hands.
It really was. That's just one of those mistakes that you can't make in that moment. It's just sloppy. You need to figure something out.
It'll be Van Geitenbeek with the basketball, taking it over into the other side of the court. Looking to pull a player across. Will fire to Scott. Scott over to Little Paige Bugs. Bugs finds Fauntleroy, and this ball goes out of bounds. Outlast touched by the Bearcats. It'll be the Baylor basketball here with Fauntleroy inbounding it. Fauntleroy will inbound to Scott. Scott from the arena logo. Takes this one to the middle of the court. Looking to drive inside. Steps back. Steps back for three. Bang! She drilled it, and the Baylor Bears extend this lead to 7.
If the first one wasn't a kill shot, that one almost feels like it, right? As Baylor was establishing their footing here, looking to pull away, they nail that three. It was the last thing Cincinnati could give up there.
Crawford with it. Crawford finds in the corner Jackson. Jackson inside. A lot of contact there as Bird with it, looking to throw one up. She'll draw the foul.
And I'll keep saying it's just got that feel to this game right now where Baylor is just going to kick it into high gear. They're going to be able to pull away. Cincinnati looks a step slower than them right now on the floor. And the Bearcats are getting a lot of lucky breaks when it comes to what the Bears are doing. Got to figure something out here.
That's right. You know, this one's a relatively close one. And from the free throw line, Baylor has been by far the dominant team. They're 11 for 12 here in this one. Cincinnati only 7 for 11. So next time they go to the line, got to try to find something if they can. Over here we have Bird.
Looks as if she lost a contact there.
Yeah, it was interesting. Had to bring in the trainer. It looks like she's good to go back in. Maya Bird from the free throw line. She'll get 2 attempts. And she nailed her first one. But that will cut the Baylor lead to just 5 now. 63-57. 6 minutes and 19 seconds left to play. Her second one lipped out. Loose basketball. Last touch by Baylor, and they're going to get it back. Fauntleroy was able to save that one and find Van Geitenbeek, who's able to take it into the other side of the court. Little Paige Buggs back to Fauntleroy. This time it's Van Geitenbeek in the middle of the court. Fires to Fauntleroy. Fauntleroy looking to drive. She'll fire back to Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek gets the basketball back. It's a loose ball, and Baylor's going to get it back. Play clock winding down from way beyond the arc. That shot won't go. Fauntleroy about just threw down a half court.
She was on the logo.
I know. That was incredible. And in transition, the Bearcats lose the basketball. And it goes back to Van Geitenbeek. I was really not expecting that one. That one was from forever behind the arc. It's Fauntleroy with it. The jumper will go and extend this Baylor lead to 8. 65-57. Baylor's just been shooting the basketball a little bit better here offensively. Cincinnati needs to get something going in terms of their ball control and just overall ball movement. Here's Maya Perry with it. Finds Jackson into the paint. Mary Cardin with it now. She'll throw a layup up, and it goes. It'll cut the Baylor lead to just 6 now. Here's Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek dishes this one to Little Paige Buggs. Little Paige Buggs to Fauntleroy. Jumper won't go. It's rebounded. And that shot won't go either. Mary Cardin dishes this one out to Maya Perry. Maya Perry from the Fifth Third Arena logo is going to dish this one over to DeVillesi. DeVillesi, jumper for 2, won't go. And it's rebounded by Baylor. Fauntleroy into Scott. Talia Scott now with 19 points so far in this game. 2 assists. 2 rebounds, 3 assists as well. As on the other side of the court, Fauntleroy threw up a jumper. She got it and got fouled on the way up. So she'll be to the line with a chance to make this one a 3-point play.
Yeah, the Bearcats are keeping themselves in this game. You know, it got all the way up to 7. They've been able to get it down to 6. They've got to get something coming out of this next timeout to push them forward this one.
That's right. We're going to step aside real quick. You're listening to Cincinnati Bearcats women's basketball here on Bearcast Sports Radio. Welcome back to Cincinnati. In this one, Cincinnati versus Baylor. It's coming down to the wire. Cincinnati down 6, needs to find something offensively. Fox Gaines alongside Aidan Riggs here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Coming out of the timeout, it's Crawford with it. Crawford finds Jackson, fires for 3, and loose ball. She'll get her own rebound. Roll into the paint, fire back. Here's Jackson for 3, and this one's way off. I think the defender was just way too close, and unfortunately just brought the pressure there on that one.
Yeah, it was a good look at a 3. It was great defensive pressure. As you said, able to just get the deflection on it. Cincinnati can't keep it in bounds. Baylor a chance to pull away here.
That's right, Van Geitenbeek firing to Fauntleroy. Back to Van Geitenbeek. It's Scott with it. Back to Van Geitenbeek in the middle of the court. This time it's Little Page Bugs into the paint. Scott for 3. Gets fouled and the shot won't go. And she'll go to the line this time. Baylor still up by 6 with 3:35 left to go.
Definitely not a foul you want to take there. Yeah, that was not at all what you wanted to see. They had good defensive pressure. It just pushed a little too hard into her. Then you sent Scott to the line. He was perfect on the night.
That's right, Baylor 11 for 12 from the line tonight. They're doing great. And this one will go and extend the Baylor lead to 7. Second one is drilled as well. Cincinnati coming out of this, they're going to be down. They're down 8 right now, could be 9, and they need to find something. They need to go on a run, try to get back into this game. As that shot misses, only the second free throw to not go tonight. Baylor gets their own rebound. Little Page Bugs in the corner, fires back to Scott. Scott takes it to the middle of the court, fires into the paint, shot won't go, and it's rebounded by the Bearcats. In transition, it's Perry. Almost took a shot from the free throw line. She'll fire back this time to Jackson. Jackson rolls into the paint, throws a layup up, and it won't go, but she gets fouled and will go to the line for 2.
You're at the point for the Cincinnati team where you do have to pick up the pace like that. You're gonna need to get a vast majority of your points within a good 15 seconds of that shot clock beginning. You gotta get something up, you gotta get it up quickly. You gotta get these shots at the line as well.
That's right, they're down 8 right now with Jackson ready to take 2 shots from the line, but like you said, I mean, they need this run to happen quick. Jackson's first free throw is good and cuts the Baylor lead to 7, 3:13 left to play. Her second is drilled as well. Baylor only leads by 6. Here's Fauntleroy with it. Fauntleroy over to Little Page Bugs. Bearcats turning up the intensity. Fauntleroy over to Scott, who's able to roll inside, take a jumper, and it won't go. Big rebound there for the Bearcats. It's Thomas who dishes it out to Crawford. Crawford from the near side of the court. Finds the middle side of the court. She'll roll inside, throw a layup up. Way too much on that one. And the ball's rebounded by Scott. Baylor now with it. Scott fires back, gets the pass back now. Scott from the middle of the side of the court. Will fire inside. Gets fouled. It's Fauntleroy who finds the and one and will go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play. That'll extend the Baylor lead to 8.
Baylor did exactly what they needed to do here down the stretch. They started making their buckets. They're being smart with the shots they're taking, and they're limiting Cincinnati to not get great shots off. They're playing really tight defense, not allowing them to get much going down low, having to rely on the outside shot, and they're all making their free throws when they need to.
That's right. Cincinnati's playing really tight man here, trying to find whatever defense they can, as that second free throw is good. Perry's gonna dish it over to Crawford, who was defended very hard. And over on the other side of the court, Bird's gonna throw up an open layup and get it. Both sides are playing such tight defense that it's creating all these crazy opportunities inside.
Yeah, Bird had about as much space as you could possibly have to go to the rim there. That was a good play by Baylor, just to lay off of them, not give them that potential and one opportunity. Just let her take the basket and set up your offense. They draw the quick foul as well, As Baylor is just going to need one more foul, actually one more foul for each team they're going to be shooting.
That's right. Bearcats down 7 here. It's going to be the Baylor Bears getting the basketball. Little Paige Buggs is going to inbound it this time to Talia Scott. Talia Scott going to take her sweet old time, try to run this clock as far down as they can. 2:05 left to play here in regulation. Scott with it. Now she'll turn it up. She's going to try to turn this one up the court. Not quite in the paint, but inside, and loses the basketball. It's going to be Perry with it. In transition, rolls inside. Perry, jump back, and the shot won't go. And unfortunately there, Thomas falls down and can't catch the rebound, and it goes back to Baylor. Here's Van Geitenbeek with it. Fires over to Little Paige Buggs. Fauntleroy inside, loose ball, and it's taken away by Cincinnati. DeVillesi with it from the free throw line. Throws this one back. Crawford inside, finds Torrance, who nails it and cuts this Baylor lead to just 5 now. 1:15 left to play. Baylor's gonna inbound it. Here's Fauntleroy with it. They're gonna try to take their sweet old time. Scott from the Fifth Third Arena logo. They're gonna try to wind this shot clock as far down as it can go. It's at 17 right now and still ticking. 1 minute left to go here in this one from Fifth Third Arena. Cincinnati trying to find a missed shot. Scott with it. Scott draws inside and is able to nail the layup. And that did not make it easy for him.
Just so smooth on that, able to find her way right to the hoop and lay it up and in.
That shot did not help. On the other side, it's DeVillesi who draws the big foul, and she'll go to the line for 2. Bearcats down 7 here, really need to nail both of them if they want to stay in this.
Like you said, they're going to need both of these here, and then you really got to get a stop of some kind. 4 timeouts for Baylor still in this one. They haven't used one yet.
That's right, the Bearcats now into the bonus, so any foul will send them to the line. DeVillesi nails her first. 72-66 Baylor, with 43.9 seconds left to go here in this one. DeVillesi nails her second one, just what the Bearcats wanted to do. And we see a whistle. And this one is coming down to the wire. Baylor up by 5, the number 15 team in the nation. They're tied for the Big 12 Conference lead with TCU. This game has implications, obviously, for both sides, but Cincinnati would love to get the win here at home. They find themselves down 5 here in a very intense situation.
You know, there's only so many opportunities left on the calendar now. You're in their last full month of play. You're kicking off February. This was a tough opponent to start things out with. And they've stuck around with them the entire time. They even had the lead for a majority of that first half, even into the second half. But Baylor, you're seeing some of the reasons why they are a top 15 of the team in the nation. They're finishing the shots they need to. They're playing tight defense, not giving Cincinnati a ton to work with. And Cincinnati needs a stop here to have any shot.
That's right, Baylor, a team that could seriously go on a national title run this season in the tournament. And Nikki Collins' 4th year as their head coach is doing fairly well for themselves. They're 19-4, they're 8-2 in conference. And here in this one, Cincinnati's been able to keep it close. But as we come out of this timeout, I mean, both teams obviously playing with a large sense of urgency. Baylor's only up by 5. Cincinnati obviously down 5, trying to find a way to come back in this one.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier the timeouts for each team. Cincinnati still having 2, Baylor having 3. We could see a classic college basketball game where this thing just drags on with all these timeouts, but we'll see what head coach Katrina Merriweather's drawing up out of this timeout. Baylor's got to advance the ball all the way down. They're actually going to move it up, it looks like. So they're not going to have to worry about that 10-second violation. You can easily see them throw it back into the backcourt, though.
Yeah, Cincinnati in the bonus now. Baylor 1 foul from being in the bonus. So we'll see how that plays into this one. 72-67, Baylor on top. It'll be Fauntleroy to inbound. Taking forever, and Baylor will take a timeout there. Couldn't really find anywhere to inbound it, and you'd rather not take the foul there.
I might have spoke that one into existence with this timeout thing, because that was not even 5 seconds, actually, ironically, after that timeout ended.
That's right, she took the basketball, looked around, and was like, yep, not today. And
well,
take it back to the huddle.
You know, you did see the two Baylor players lining up in the backcourt for them, and one of those classic plays to just throw it up and let them grab it. Usually the defense isn't applying as much pressure on that. Cincinnati was keeping two girls on them the entire time. We'll see what they do here.
44 seconds left to play. Baylor up in this one by 5. Really, neither team has gotten out to a major lead here in this one. It stayed single digits, it stayed relatively close and competitive as Fauntleroy will impound it. And immediately it's swatted away by Bird, and Baylor will get it right back.
And Bird is right on top of her. It looks like Baylor is trying to argue the potential of a violation here. She potentially could have reached over the sideline. The Baylor coach is very adamant about it.
That's right, Nikki Collin looking for a violation here as the referees will conference and talk about it.
It looks like they're gonna take a review.
This is interesting.
You know, the weird part about this is when you look at where the cameras are angled here in Fifth Third Arena, all on the opposite sideline. You're not going to get anything that's going down this, so it's got to be very obvious she's reaching over for them to overturn this. I don't like Baylor's chances on this one necessarily because of that, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point here. It's got to be obvious for them to overturn this call, and we might very well not see that, unfortunately. Here on the Cincinnati coaching staff, I think they knew it was coming, which is interesting. I mean, we've seen a timeout from Cincinnati, then a timeout from Baylor, and then here a review before the ball was even inbounded on a potential violation here. So this is very interesting. I think both sides saw the review coming, but the referees taking a quick moment to look at this one with 43 seconds left to go. Baylor up 72, Cincinnati with 67 here.
Just a classic ending to a college basketball game here where you're going to get all these timeouts used, all of these reviews, as many as possible. And it stinks because it kills the momentum of the game, really. When you're trying to develop something at the end, whether you're Cincinnati or whether you're Baylor, just trying to close this out. This doesn't benefit really either team, in my opinion. Even though Baylor's coaching staff was very adamant about wanting this review, I don't think it helps them a ton because you're in and out of the huddle so much, you can't get your mind fully set on the game.
That's right. So far in this one, there are 4 Baylor Bears in double digits. We've got Talia Scott, Van Geitenbeek, Little Paige Buggs, as well as Fauntleroy for the Bearcats.
This is a long review.
This is an awkwardly long review. I mean, this has been a lot of stoppages here within the last few moments. Like, real time, it's probably taken, what would you say, over 5 to 8 minutes at this point? Like,
it has been of the stoppages that we've had in this last 5. We'll get the call here. I don't know what angle they would have had.
The officials have determined there will be 43.2 seconds on the game clock. It'll be
So that was your other issue as they were looking at the clock.
That's right, yeah. So they'll reset the clock to 43.2 seconds, so they shaved about, I want to say, a second off of the clock or so. Baylor will inbound it here. Fauntleroy finds Scott. Back to Fauntleroy. Fauntleroy looking inside. Now they'll dish it back. Scott from the middle of the court. And the Bearcats will foul, which is something that they probably needed to do.
Yeah, this is where you're now going to send Baylor to the line for 2. You kind of wish they would have done that a little earlier, too. A lot of clock went off.
33.7 left on the clock now. Both teams in the bonus. Baylor on top of this one, 72 to 67. It's Talia Scott from the line this time, their big offensive piece to shoot 2. First one goes and extends the Baylor lead to 6. They lead 73-67. Scott's second is up, in, and through. And the Bearcats will take a timeout now, down 7. We're going to step aside for a moment. You're listening to Bearcats Sports Radio here, Cincinnati Bearcats women's basketball. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Baylor Bears right now up by 7 on the Cincinnati Bearcats. You're listening to Bearcat Sports Radio, Fox Gansler, alongside Aidan Riggs. This one's coming down to the wire, and it's getting into that late game fouling type situation with Maya Perry inbounding the basketball for Cincinnati. Can't really find anything, and she'll dish it up. This time it's Jackson. Back to DeVillasi. DeVillasi, 2-point jumper on the way, lips in and out. Clock winding, less than 25 seconds to go. Maya Perry now with it. Gets a big pick out in front and nails the 3 and cuts the Baylor lead to just 4. Loose ball, and it's gonna be the Baylor basketball. That could have been huge right there.
What a shot from Maya Perry, and we're probably gonna get another review here if we're being honest. If they didn't have a good angle on the other one, they got an even worse angle on this one.
That's right, it was in the corner on our near side where the cameras, like you said earlier, are all on the other side of the court. So,
but how about Maya Perry? I mean,
that's
step
right.
back. I thought she took a little bit too much time, but she made up for it by making the shot. I mean, just a beautiful step back 3.
And that one was decently beyond the arc. I would say 3 to 5 feet.
Just trying to take a listen there. They are going to review this. It's going to be another look at the clock as well, which will take a little bit extra time.
That's right. This is the second review we've had in like 30 seconds in game. This one's coming down to the wire. It's a 4-point game. Baylor up 74-70. 17.5 seconds on the clock. Both teams into the bonus here. So any foul will send both teams to the line. Baylor's been the better team from the free throw line here in this one, which might just very well end up sealing this game. They're 89% from the free throw line tonight compared to Cincinnati's 71%. Baylor 16 for 18, Cincinnati 12 for 17. So this will be interesting to see how the final 18 or so seconds will play out.
You know, Baylor on the season is shooting just about 75% from the line. So that is up a little bit from what they're usually doing. You're seeing some differentiating numbers, but I mentioned earlier they were shooting lower from the field than they usually do, and that number is rising up. It's gotten up to 37% in this game. They're usually around that 43%. That's really been something that they've needed to rely on. They've made a couple more mid-range shots. Of course, there's been some wild threes in this game on both sides. We keep bringing them up, but Cincinnati, we're assuming it's going to be Baylor basketball. Going to need a quick foul and need the free throws to go their way.
For sure. Here in this one, Bearcats find themselves down 4. It's going to be the Baylor Bears inbounding the basketball. Both teams still in the huddle as the referees are still taking a look at this. This is now the second review in the last 30 seconds that it's taken, as you would say, you know, a little bit longer than it should.
I just looked over to the Bearcat. He was asleep for a second, so. It's
yeah, this is really something.
It's just not the way you want to watch a game end.
For sure.
It takes the, I mentioned earlier, it takes the momentum out of it. It's just not a fun watch. You're watching refs stare at a screen, trying to figure out, is there .2 added on? Is there .1?
That's right, yeah. With these balls that will end up out of bounds, you not only have to look at who gets the basketball, but also what do you set the clock at. So it's a multi-step process, really. So Baylor's going to inbound it here after review. Just under 18 seconds left to play. It's already a 2-possession game, but Baylor with the basketball could very well make it a 3-possession game. 74-70. Baylor Bears on top of the Cincinnati Bearcats. And
Baylor's going to take a timeout. So they just had a timeout that was probably about 2 minutes in real time.
Apparently they just didn't have enough time to talk it through. But we're going to step aside here on Bearcat Sports Radio. We'll come back here in a few moments. You're listening to Bearcats Women's Basketball. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena. Finally, both sides break the huddle. Baylor in to inbound it with less than 18 seconds left to play.
So the one thing I'll give them credit for is that did advance the ball all the way up there. Makes it a little easier for Baylor to inbound this one, but we'll see.
It's Fauntleroy, inbounds to Scott. Scott from the Fifth Third Arena logo, and Cincinnati will foul. The foul will end up being on DeVillasi, true freshman. One of the star recruits here for the Bearcats.
The Cincinnati bench was wanting to go for the trap there. I don't know if there's enough time to really go for that, but the foul, and you just got to hope that Scott, who's 6 for 7 from the line tonight with 25 overall points, somehow misses one here.
Baylor 16 for 18 on the night from the line. Here's Talia Scott, 25 points tonight, and it misses off the left side of the rim.
Home court bounce on that one for the Bearcats. They gotta find another one here, and they gotta work quick.
The band behind the rim getting loud, getting aggressive as the second one is nailed and extends this Baylor lead to 5. It's DeVillasi with it. DeVillasi drives inside, throws up a layup, won't go, and it's rebounded by Baylor. It's Abraham who gets fouled with 6.8 seconds left to play.
The Bearcats foul is called on Kylie Torrance, number 10, for third personal foul.
Just an awkward play there too. You saw the Baylor player kind of come down on top of the basketball, and she was slow to come back up to her feet. But that miss for the Bearcats, they wanted any chance. They had to get a bucket there of some kind. Baylor has a chance to officially put this away at the line.
That's right. Baylor up by 5. First one misses. Just about 7 seconds left to go. Bearcats down by 5. Abraham's second is up, and that one will go. It'll be Torrance inbounding. Maya Perry with it. Looking to dish up a 3. It's up. It's no good. Loose ball, and that's the game. Baylor will win this one 76-70 to 70. They'll improve to 9-2, in conference, and 20-4 overall. Here in this one, the Bearcats will fall to 8-15, 3-8 in conference. It's an unfortunate 76-70 loss here at home at Fifth Third Arena.
You know, it's not the result they wanted, but they showed a lot of fight in that one. This is a tough opponent to be going up against. They stuck around with them the entire game, led for some of it, but Baylor just had a little bit more down the stretch. They need to bounce back. They need to bounce back quick.
That's right. Baylor always been a top program in women's college basketball. They last won a national title in 2019. Looking to make a tournament run yet again this year. But for the Bearcats, I mean, like you said, a very good fight in a game where they may have not been the strongest contender, but they were able to keep this one pretty close, only losing by 6 in the end. But this is a phenomenal showing for a young team, a team that has 6 true freshmen on its roster. A very good showing, as you had mentioned.
It is, and they just got to figure out a way going on the road to Kansas next. Got to get some momentum going. Hopefully could still find their way into some type of postseason play. We'll see down the stretch.
That's right. We're going to step aside briefly before wrapping it up here from Fifth Third Arena. You're listening to Bearcats Sports Radio. Your final from Cincinnati, Baylor 76, Cincinnati 70. And that'll do it here tonight from Fifth Third Arena. I'm Fox Gansler alongside Aidan Riggs. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.